Well, you'll want to have a yoga belt or a scarf today. If you do have blocks, those are always a nice thing to have. If you don't have blocks, a cushion that can kind of smush down to about 4 inches is always a nice thing as well. And let's get started, everybody. Oh, that was the wind. Sorry about that. Well, go ahead and find your place on your chair. Breathing, got it. Okay, excellent. We will do all of the above. Find a right angle with your shins and the floor. So whatever chair you're using, see if you can use one that brings your thighs to a right angle. If you're very tall and you find that your knees are up higher than your hips, then you'll want to make the seat of your chair taller. So just a tip, because I can't see all of your chairs at home, and I haven't checked in about that in a while, but you want your thighs to be straight out from your hips. That's a really nice alignment. And then you want some space behind you, so you're not sitting all the way back in your chair. It's almost like your chair becomes a stool. Sometimes we use the back for different reasons, but for the most part, we're not leaning into the chair. Rest your hands on your thighs. And let's start with this, let's start with the sense of expansion. So for many of us, we are in a kind of confined state, right? Spatially, there's not really the possibility to travel, if even to leave the home, especially if you're really working on more of a self-quarantine, maybe just leaving for a few minutes every day. And when we do interact, there's this kind of closed offness. You can't see if someone's smiling at you. You don't even recognize somebody maybe because of the coverings that we have on our faces. So there's this kind of way that societally we're very closed off. So we're working with this notion of what is it to be in an expansive mindset. Not just the mindset, but actually the physical body. Can we feel this sense of feeling spacious, even when there's confinement in various ways? So let's start with eyes open. And even if you're looking at a wall or a shelf, imagine that you could look far beyond that. So imagine the capability of the eyes, almost like an eagle who can read fine print from like a mile away. And see if you can look far without squinting or without furrowing at all in the brow. And then imagine, as far as you can look, imagine you can take the breath in that deeply. So as you look far, can you mirror that depth internally, as if you could breathe back into your lungs as far as the eye could see. And when you exhale, can you soften and imagine that there's a floating quality, almost like you're lengthening. As you inhale, imagine the breath moving deeply into your body. As you exhale, feel your body get a little lighter. And one more cycle the same way. Inhale, look far. Breathe inward deeply. And exhale, soften. Now imagine that you could see to the very ends of the ocean, as if you're looking out at the skyline over the Atlantic. And imagine you could see all the way to the right and all the way to the left without having to strain the eyes. This wide swath of space in front of you. And imagine now that your breath can match the width of your vision. So as you inhale, feel the lungs widening, spreading, just as far and wide as the eyes can see. And on your exhale, find a little lightness, almost like you're floating. Again, inhale wide into the ribs that lift off as you breathe in. And exhale. We'll take one more cycle in that same way. Deep breath in as you spread your ribs. And exhale. Now, keeping eyes open, can you see in all of those dimensions? So as far forwards into the distance, as far wide to the right and the left. And can you feel both the depth of the breath mirror the distance of the sight, and the width of the breath mirror the vast expanse of the horizon? As if through the eyes we're feeling spaciousness, through the breath we're experiencing spaciousness. Let's take just a few more cycles like this, imagining and feeling. And then gently let your eyes close if that's easeful for you. And as the eyes close, can you see the vastness that's there? In yoga, it's called the Chitta Kasha. It's the space behind closed eyes where you see texture, imprints, inverse color. And can you breathe into that deep, warm, internal vastness, softening the space around the eyes themselves, deep in the hollow bone of the skull. And then we're going to start to look around this dark space behind the eyes. Start to circle as if your eyes are following the face of a clock from 12 to 3 to 6 to 9 and back to 12. So with eyes closed, you're just searching out every angle of this circle, every degree. And can you keep your forehead relaxed, the center eyebrow relaxed, as you turn your eyes through this dark space, noticing the change in shadow and light. And then just as swiftly switch directions, going the other way, letting your eyes travel through this dark, warm, vast space. And can you take your breath along with you so the breath remains deep, full and expansive. And then set your eyes to a neutral position so that you're not circling anymore. And gently let the eyelids open if they've been closed, to see just as far and just as wide and match your breath. Now with eyes open, we're going to move on some diagonals with the eyes. The face, the head stays in the same position. So let's start looking straight up to 12 o'clock. And this might be with eyes open and a directed point to look at. It might feel a little bit more strained So try to back away from any strain and instead just stretch the eyes, and then let the eyes travel straight down towards your cheekbones without nodding the head or changing the position of the head. And hold the eyes in that position so you can really feel the muscles of the eyes being addressed. And then look back to the center. Good, and then we're gonna look with the eyes all the way over towards 3 o'clock. Again, the head doesn't move. Hold the eyes in that position. And let them keep moving towards 3 o'clock, the eyes, without changing the position of the head. Make sure you're not holding your breath at all. Good, and then let your eyes travel all the way across towards 9. And sometimes it's hard to not turn the head too, so just move the eyes. And then keep looking in that direction. And you might find that it's harder for the eyes to look in one direction than the other. You might feel a little work going on. Breathe there, relax the brow. Good, and then eyes back to center. Nice, everybody. Then we're gonna drop down to what would be 4 o'clock. And you're gonna look right across the clock face up to 11, I think. So look down, lower corner, hold, without dropping the head. Again, moving the eyes in that direction as far as they can go without strain. And then travel your eyes up to the opposite end of the clock face without moving your head. Breathe there. Doesn't matter what you're looking at, it's just that you're pointing your eyes in that direction. You can stay with that wide, broad periphery, even when the eyes are directed there. And then back to center. Great. And then we're gonna go down to 7 o'clock. The other corner, look down. Hold the eyes there. Breathe. Notice the resistance that your eyes might want to dart or change position, or you might want to fidget. Just hold the eyes gently without piercing your focus. It's still a broad focus. And then up to the opposite end, the other degree of the clock, something like 2 o'clock, looking up and holding the eyes there. With that same wide, expansive vision, the eyes just at that 1 degree or angle. Breathe in. And back to center, exhale. Nice, everybody. We're gonna do that another time around, just starting every angle from its opposite. So let's start with the eyes down. Eyes down towards 6. Breathe, without nodding the head. And then from eyes down, all the way up to 12. Hold that vision. Notice if you furrow your brow or hike your eyebrows. Just move the eyes and breathe. Deep breath in. And eyes to center. Then eyes over to 9 o'clock. Let the eyes shift in that direction. Hold the eyes. Not hardening the eyes, just gentle, holding the gaze. Then all the way across to 3. And notice if getting to some of these different degrees of the circle might be a little bit more challenging for the eyes. Like any other muscle, our eye muscles work in a particular habit and pattern. So we're just trying to shift where the eyes go, which can have great benefit for the neck muscles, for migraines, for the overall health of the eyes, and back to center. Nice. Now we're gonna look up towards 11 o'clock. Hold that position, breathe. Patient, it's like a meditation. And then travel the eyes down to 4, that lower quadrant of the circle. Hold the eyes and breathe. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. Good, and then eyes back to center. Then eyes up to 2 o'clock. Breathing there. And you might feel that the muscles of the eyes are actually fatiguing. It's just like any other muscle, you know, like you're lifting a weight. These longer holds can have great benefit. And then all the way down to 7. Let your eyes travel there. And breathe. Without any strain. I find that this particular degree is quite challenging to hold. I don't think I ever look in this particular direction. Maybe just for a glance. And then bring your eyes back to center. Take a couple of blinks, open and closed. Good. We're going to do a little bit of focus with the eyes. So take your thumbs out in front of you. And we're going to do close to far range. So first, focus on your thumbs. See all the little tiny lines and detail. And then unfocus the thumbs and look way out behind, away from the thumbs, as far as you can into the distance. And then come to close focus again. See all the little details. And then let the details unfocus. Maybe you see 4 thumbs as you look way beyond. And then one more time, focus on to the thumbs. Find little detail. Then look through your thumbs and beyond into the space that's there. Good. Now we're going to use thumbs again. So look to your right thumb and keep your eyes following your right thumb and turn your head with your arm. Pause and keep turning. See how far back you can bring your arm without straining your neck or your eyes. Breathe in. Exhale, focus on your thumb. Then focus beyond the thumb. See the far distance. Then back to your thumb. And slowly from the strength of your belly, bring your hands back together. And maybe your arms are burning a little bit because you're holding them up. Just make sure it's not in your shoulders. You can always bend at the elbows. Now focus on your left thumb. Take a look. Follow your left thumb with your eyes. Slowly turn your head. Let that turn your spine. Reach out to the farthest you can without strain. Breathe there. Focus on the thumb. See the fine detail. And then look beyond the thumb. Refocus the eyes on your thumb. Breathe in. And then slowly travel your thumb, trail your gaze, both thumbs together. Last time, focus on the thumbs. Then focus beyond the thumbs. Rest your hands. Close your eyes. If you're wearing eyeglasses, remove them. Put them on your lap or to the side. And really slow and lazy, search out the dark space behind your closed eyes. You might circle around. You might zigzag your eyes and kind of like a ping pong to each point on the clock face. It's more fluid movement. Then let your eyes rest and bring your hands together and start to rub your hands. And this is more work for the arms. Make sure you're moving both hands together, not just one hand. And build a little energy, a little heat. This might start to pick up your heart rate and your breath. Keep going. Rub your hands. Breathing deeply. For 3, 2, and 1. Separate your hands away from each other just a couple of inches. Feel the tingling sensation. Expand your hands wider. Feel the connection that remains between the palms. Join the palms closer and wider. And bow your head and release the heels of your hands into the eye sockets. Let the weight of the head fall into the cup of your hand. Let the back of the neck gently stretch. And let the eyes be cushioned by the soft flesh of the heel of the hand. You might let the muscles let go so the eyes don't move at all. They're just simply held. Notice again what you see here, all the different texture. It's almost like a little 3D immersion behind your closed eyes, of abstraction. Take a deep breath in. Can you breathe as deeply as you can see into the vastness behind your closed eyes? And then gently release your hands from your eyes. With your hands moved but your eyes closed, see how the light changes. Lift your gaze. Blink your eyes open. And without any strain, just look out. Can you take your deepest breath? Breathing as deeply as you can see far. Breathing as broadly as you can see wide. And start to move your shoulders, your head, your neck, the upper body, moving almost like you rolled your eyes. And you roll your shoulders and your head around the clock face. Circle a different way, moving anything that might be stiff and stuck. Nice, everybody. And then you'll take your arms down by your sides. You can still move your head if that feels good, and just shake your shoulders. Let your arms swing and sway. And then we're going to take hands to the hairline. So you're going to use your thumbs. And you'll take your hands all the way down to the base of your skull. So that hairline, not at the forehead. So right here where your hair meets your neck. And you're going to use your thumbs, and you're going to do a little, you can cup the rest of your skull with your hands. And you're going to do a little bit of a massage right on either side of the spine and a little bit wider. And as you do this, you might lift and lower your head. Drop your chin and lift your chin. You can move from side to side. So here we're addressing some of the muscles that connect the eyes to the spine. So especially if you're prone to any migraines, this is a really nice place to give yourself some release of stress. Open the mouth, close the mouth. You can circle the thumbs. You might draw them a little lower and further out towards the sides of the neck or behind the ears. Just let it be a nice, soothing self-massage. Breathe as you rub. Last breath in. And release your hands. Nice, everybody. If you're wearing glasses and you want to put them back on, or if you're not wearing them and you want to put them back on, go ahead and do so. Put your glasses back on. Great. Now let's do a little bit of dynamic movement. Let's separate feet wider than your chair. And come onto the edge of your seat even more, so it's almost like you're tilted forwards. Bring your hands onto your thighs, and then let's take some circles. So just the way you circled your eyes, circling your body, around and back. Try to keep both hips grounded on your chair as you circle. And try for a long spine, so we're not kind of leading with the head. We're gliding and spreading the chest. Go the other direction. You might like to add in your shoulders a little bit, So you might wrap your shoulders and move the upper body. Let this feel really good for your lower back. The eyes are still softly focused. Then come all the way up and take the heels of your hands right onto the thighs where your hips begin. And shrug your shoulders and straighten your arms into your legs. So it's a bit of a massage for the thighs. And it's also a lengthening for the lower back. So you can lean a little from side to side. Hopefully that feels good too. And then we're gonna walk hands out like a little massage on the thigh. So walk your hands a little further, same rocking pressure. And walk your hands a little further. Good, feel that gentle compression on the legs, which can actually help feel expansion. So when we compress, when we let that go, more flow can come through in terms of the tissue, the muscle. Good, and then walk your hands almost all the way out to your knees, and then we're gonna turn this into a twist. So lean forwards, take your left shoulder forwards and look to your right. See if you can still see as far and wide as you can breathe deep and broad. Exhale. Good, back to center. Let's change sides, other shoulder forwards. Keep your hips grounded as your chest turns. Again, see far and wide. Breathe deep and broad. Nice, everybody. Then come all the way back through the center. And we're going to shift onto forearms. So right forearm on your right thigh. Press down, so it kind of gives that same massage feeling. Opposite arm reaches up, over and around. Big sweep back, like your arm is a hand on the clock. And if you'd like, you can let your eyes follow the movement of your hand, just so long as it doesn't put any strain on your neck. And if it does strain your neck, then keep your arm in eye line, so that you're not going beyond your eye line. Good. And then everybody come all the way back up. Rest your hands on your thighs for a moment. Breathe deeply. Exhale. Second side. Right forearm onto your thigh. Press down like you're giving yourself a little massage and lift your shoulder up and out. Opposite arm reaches. Stretch it over, around. Maybe your eyes follow your arm. If you're working with eyes following your arm, stay with your arm in the line of sight so that you're not straining your eyes to look one way or another. Big, deep, full breath as you move around. Yeah, nice work, everybody. And find your way back to center. Both hands on your thighs. Feel the movement of your breath, the expansion of your breath. Really great, everybody. Now we're going to take a turn. So you'll keep your legs, actually let's do this. Bring your legs together and take a turn towards the right side of your chair. And the outer hip, the outer left hip is going to be off of your chair. Hold the back. We're going to do a little lunge. So I think most of you have done this with me before. Lean forwards, and the leg that's farthest away from the chair, slide it back. And you're going to let your knee drape towards the floor. So really take a moment to let your hip hang off of the chair. You want to make sure you don't fall off of your chair. You have to hold the back of it. Now, outside arm, reach it forwards, reach it up, and then reach it back. So towards the back end of your chair, let your knee fall. Maybe your arm moves through space here, and you can watch your arm as before. Just make sure that you don't throw your balance. Stay grounded on your chair with your right hip. Nice, everybody. And then bring yourself back up. Lean forwards and slide both feet together. Now you're going to want to sit a little bit more firmly on your chair, so you don't have to be one hip off, one hip on. Bring your feet together and bring your knees together. And we're going to take a twist towards the back of the chair. You're going to do this with eyes. So you'll reach your hands towards the back of your chair, still looking forwards. Take a breath in and get tall. Then as you exhale, turn your eyes towards the back of your chair. Turn your face towards the back of your chair. Turn your sternum and navel towards the back of your chair. Now pay attention to your knees, your feet. Can you keep them aligned with each other? Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, twist back. Yeah. You can let the eyes continue as if they're looking that direction. They are looking, but as if they're still searching out behind you. See as wide and far as you can breathe deep and broad. And then with your eyes, we come back. Turn your eyes back towards your knees, then let your face turn. Release your hands from the back of your chair and rest your hands on your thighs. Inhale, breathe deeply and wide. Exhale. Good. Now we're going to turn back towards the front of the chair and to the other side. Step your feet towards the left, and we're going to do the lunge first. So you're going to be almost off the chair with your right hip. Hold on to the back of the chair. This is really important. You can sling your arm through, lean forwards, and then slide your outside leg back so that your knee goes straight down to the ground. Make sure you're really well supported with your front foot at a right angle below the knee and holding the back of your chair. Let your hip drop outside of the chair. Your outside arm lifted up, reach it up, travel with your eyes. You can reach back, forwards, around, just like your arm is a hand on the clock, expanding far around the axis of your body. Breathe and move here. Really nice, everybody. And then slowly come on back upright. We'll come out of this, take your time, lean forwards, slide both feet together, and sit more evenly on your chair. So both hips land on the seat. Bring your feet together, your knees together, and feel that they're parallel to one another. Turn towards the back of your chair. Hold on with your hands. Lengthen your spine. Breathe in. As you exhale, start with your eyes. Turn your eyes towards the back of your chair. Then let your head follow. Find your first point of resistance. Pause there and level your hips, your knees, and your feet again. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, revolve your spine. Let the eyes find their range, the depth of their range, then hold the eyes there. Without strain, take the breath deep and broad as your eyes look far and wide. One more breath together. And then with your eyes, slowly, eyes turn back towards your knees, face, chest, hands, rest. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. And walk your feet back towards center. Nice, everybody. Let's focus a little bit on feet. So you can either use your scarf or your belt or your hands. Lean forwards, sling your hands underneath your right foot. Come to the ball of the foot, strengthen the spine, then lift up. Then you'll start to circle your ankle. Good, just in the same way that you circled your eyes around the clock face, slow circles, other way. Feel the ankle crank and creak and crack. All kinds of movement there. And point the foot and flex the foot. Point and flex. Feel the muscles of the calf respond. Your eyes are still looking softly outward. The breath is still full. And rest your foot in a soft flex, and you're going to take your knee open to the side and back to center. And open to the side and back to center. And you might circle your leg up and around. And this might be a nice stretch for your shoulders as you dip the leg lower and lift, then go the other way. Moving hip in its socket. Nice, everybody. Great. Now come towards forwards. Flex your foot, breathe in. Exhale, straighten through your leg. Bend your knee, inhale. Exhale again, straighten, press through your heel. One more time, inhale. Exhale, press heel. Pause, breathe in. And exhale, bend your knee, sway your leg and your hip. Good, let it swing. And then gently set your foot back down. Release your hands. Give your hands a little nod and roll. Open and close your fists. Drum your fingers. And then we move to the other side. Lean forwards. Lace your hands underneath. Strengthen your spine. Come to the ball of your left foot. And then pick it up. And start to circle your ankle. Big, slow circles. Yeah. Great. Other way, slow circles through your ankle, breathing as you go. And point, and flex, point the foot, and flex. Try to stay upright, you're building core strength here, and flex, and point, and flex. Stay with a soft flexed foot. We're on the left side or the second side. Open up. And close. And again, open and close. And circle down, up and around. Breathe as you go. Let this stretch your shoulders as your arms dip a little bit. Go the other way. Breathing. Nice. And then come back through the center. Flex your left foot. Breathe in. Exhale, glide it forwards. Knee bends, inhale. Exhale, heel glides forwards. One more time, inhale. Exhale, press through heel, pause. Get strong through your spine. Then let your heel drop and your knee bend. Sway, 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 all the way back down to the mat. Relax your hands, both feet down. And let's do a little bit more release for the wrists. Drum your fingers. You might shake out your hands. And let that shake out your shoulders. And open and close. Lots of movement in the hands. And release. Now we're going to come up to standing. We're just going to do one chair to get there. Reach your arms forwards, palms up. Feet are planted under your knees. Lean slightly forward. So you're not leaning with your head. You're hinging from your hips. Good. And then imagine that your heels could hug back towards your chair. So as you lean your chest forwards, heels gently as if they would slide back, slide back. Breathe in. Exhale, lift up from the sitting bones all the way through the trunk towards the crown of your head. Breathe in. Exhale, sit your hips back, pull your heels back. See if you can come all the way up to stand. Release your tray. And breathe out. Good. Now you're going to come towards the back of your chair. And I'm going to turn my chair to the side so that you can see a little bit more easily. And you'll rest your hands on your chair to begin with. And we're going to do a little bit of lunging. So step your right leg back. Left foot is forwards. My knee is at a right angle over the heel. My back heel might be lifted. That might give a nice additional stretch. Or back heel down, whatever you prefer. Bend your front knee until it's over at chin. Press down into the chair. and lift up through the spine. So we're working on stretching the front of the hip here. Breathe in. Good, and breathe out. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath here. And out. Great. Step forwards and switch sides. Real simple. Again, you might have your back heel lifted. You might have your back foot wider and the heel down. Turn your hips towards your chair. Press the chair down. Front knee is over the ankle. Breathe in. Exhale. Come back to that wide gaze. Back to that far gaze. Breathe in deeply, mirroring the depth of vision. Exhale completely. Good. 1 more in. And exhale. Nice, everybody. Step together and stand. Now you're going to step to the outside of your chair. And you're going to take whatever foot is closest to the chair, you're going to take it up onto it. And you'll turn your toes out to that side. So my toes aren't faced forwards, out to the side. Put your forearm on your thigh. And then we're just going to do a little leaning. Make sure the back of the chair isn't in your way. You're going to lunge in, come out, lunge in and come out. Good. Let this be smooth and easy. Just stretching the inner thigh. Other hand on your hip. Nice, everyone. Let's take this 2 more pulses. Smooth with your breath. And then hold the back of your chair and step out. Good. You're going to hold onto your chair. The leg that's inside closest to your chair, you're going to pick it up just enough that it can sway off of the ground and just give it a swing. Forwards and back. Yeah. And as you do this, try not to let your chest go forwards and back. Try to keep your chest upright as your leg swings, and you might kick your heel back. So just a nice sway through the hip. You can kick your heel. Exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Put your feet back down. Take a breath in with both feet grounded. Exhale. And come to the other side of your chair. You'll rest your hand on the back and then step up. Put your foot right on the seat of your chair and turn your knee and your toe in the same direction. You can hold onto the chair or forearm on the thigh, which I think is quite nice. Other hand to your hip. And then lean. And coming in and out. So we're just stretching the inner thigh muscles. Breathe as you go. This hopefully just feels soothing, like a nice expansion of your pelvis, the pelvic floor, shoulders. Breathe. Good. Let's take a few more pulses. And then come on back up. Hold the back of your chair. Step off. The leg that's inside, you're going to let it swing. So that means you have to stand a little bit taller on the outside leg. Swing your leg and then let it move forwards and back. So you're just brushing the ground. As you move your leg, try not to move your chest, right? You're just keeping your chest upright as your leg swings. You might press your heel back and do a nice little kick. Just like it's a pendulum swinging off of the body. 3, 2, and 1. Both feet back down. Take a breath with both feet down. Can you see far? Mirror that with a deep breath in. And exhale. Great. Now we're going to try for another stretch of the front thigh, and you'll want more than likely to use your scarf or your yoga belt for this. So I'm going to turn again towards the side so you can see me. You can stay where you are more or less. I'm going to stand to the side of my chair and hold on to it. And this is where you might prefer to use a wall. Now the trickiest part of this is figuring out the scarf or the belt. So you're going to make a U shape out of it. And you're going to start, and you can watch to start with because this is where we're going to go. You're going to take the belt over the top of the foot, and then you'll loop it behind. So you have both ends to the outside. And then I'm going to climb up to hold onto the top of the foot with my knees together. If you have the range and holding your foot on its own works for you, then you can do that. If not, I'm going to show it again. You'll use a U-shaped belt, put the top of your foot around it, and then feed the inside loop to the outside. So it's around the top of the foot, and then you have to thread it up. So you're holding on to whatever spot you can get, okay? Making sense? Everybody good? Got your foot in your spot? Now, once you have your foot in your spot, join your knees together. So I'm gonna turn towards you. Not together, together. So knees are together. Lift up the chest by pressing down into your chair. Feel the leg you're balancing on evenly under you. So you're not rolling to the inner foot or the outer foot. Now start to reach your foot away from your hip. Feel how that pulls the shoulder open. Breathe into the back of your ribs. You might look up. You might test your balance by letting go of your chair. If you're testing your balance, you might reach your arm up or just float it above the chair. Breathe in. Exhale. Last breath together. And as you're ready, let your foot slide out. Put your belt over your shoulder and stand on two legs. I'm going to turn towards you for a moment, but you stay where you are. Your inside leg, pick up your leg, roll your ankle, roll the other way. And we're going to do that swinging action one more time. So you're still holding onto your chair. The leg that's closest to it is going to be lifted. And swing just a few times. That's the leg you were balancing on. Just give it a little release. 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down. Nice, everybody. Now we're going to switch to the second side. Before we do, any questions about that? That was dancer's pose. It's a little bit more of a challenging standing balance. Okay. Everybody good? So you're standing to the outside of your chair. You're going to hold on with the hand that's closest to it. Find your scarf or your belt again. And this is kind of tricky. You're going to put it over the front of the foot and then loop it behind your leg so that both ends of the belt are outside and you have your foot like a little puppet. And then you'll climb your hand down your foot. And you want to make sure that your knee isn't out to the side, but it's in. So it's directly under your hip. So give it as much give as you need to in your belt strap so that you're not straining your knee. Now take your gaze forwards. Of course, this is a balance. So steadiness of eyes has great bearing on our ability to balance. Feel your standing foot. Are you rolling to the inner foot? Is all of your weight in your toes? Can you balance your weight? Try not to let your hips lean off towards your chair, but lift your hips. That's it. Now start to press your shin away from you. Roll back with your outside shoulder. Look forwards, press into your chair, and let that lift you up. Breathe in. Exhale, maybe you lift your eyes. Maybe you float your hand from your chair. Maybe you reach it up. Maybe you bring it right back down. Breathe in. Exhale. Let's take one more breath together. And everybody release. Yeah, such nice balance. Good. Let your belt go. You're gonna take your inside leg, again, that's the leg you are balancing on. Hover it from the ground, and then give it a swing. Forwards and back. Just to make sure that the joint doesn't get too stuck up in its socket. So we're creating expansion in the hip joints as well. And both feet down. And we're going to take a wide straddle position. So you might use the back of your chair or the seat of your chair. Step your feet wider than your chair is. Bring your hands onto the seat or the back. Make sure your feet are parallel to one another. If you need to bend your knees, that's just fine. Take a breath in. As you exhale, find the depth. That might mean moving onto your forearms. It might mean lowering your forehead to the back of the chair or to the seat of your chair. And we'll take a few breaths here. Allow your head to be somewhere that's resting and your legs to stay very strong and active while the spine and the upper body does less. Breathing in. Long breath out. Maybe you have your eyes closed and you see the depth of that space behind closed eyes. Can you breathe into that vastness? Let's take one more breath here. And then to come up, you're going to come up in stages. If you've been low on your forearms, you'll come up onto your hands. Just give yourself a moment to adjust. It can be a lot for your blood pressure. Come up onto hands first. Then you'll heel toe your feet closer. Put a bend in your knees. Move your hands to your hips. And come all the way up to standing. Great. If there's any dizziness, hold your chair with one hand and blink your other hand up by your ear or your face just to help the blood start to rush again. Last thing from standing, we're just going to do a little bit of hip circles. You can hold your chair or hands on your hips. Just figure 8 sway. Forwards, back, around, bend the knees. Change your physical position. Letting your whole body feel that sense of spaciousness. Go the other way if you've only been one direction. And then we're coming back to sit. Come all the way tall. Reposition your chair if you moved it out of the way. And for this, you're going to sit all the way back into your chair so that you're comfortable. You don't need to sit on the edge of your seat. Just see that your feet are rested, your spine is supported. And we can start with open eyes. Again, imagining that long horizon and that far, far reach. Then gently let your eyes close if that's easeful for you. We're going to practice a breathing exercise, one that helps to expand, extend, and lengthen the exhaled breath. So your inhale will be an even count of 4. And your exhale will be the same cadence in a count of 5. And the invitation is to continue to lengthen your exhale, perhaps to a count of 6 or 7, but not if that creates any strain for you. So go ahead and begin your own measured count of 4 for your inhale. And on your exhale, a measured count of 5 or 6 or 7. Back to the inhale, 4 count, followed by a longer exhale count. Let your attention land and rest on the breath. Count to 4 in. And count to 5 or more out. Take 2 more of the same count at your own pace. After your second round through, let go of the counting and simply breathe naturally. Consider what expansion in this moment means for you. Perhaps we can expand our awareness, expand our empathy, expand our gratitude. Awareness moving far and wide to include all those who are sacrificing now, who are suffering now. We offer the benefits of this practice out in these expansive, broadening circles from ourselves to include the collective whole. If you'd like, bring your hands to your heart. Gather in a very deep breath. Exhale completely. If you'd like, bow your chin, honoring all of our teachers, honoring the lineages of yoga, and honoring your own spirit. Thank you for your practice, everyone. Take your time if you'd like to sit longer in meditation. Of course, you're absolutely welcome to. Thank you so much. Unmute you. If you want to say anything, you can, but no pressure at all. It's such a pleasure to have you each in class today.
How strenuous the eye, just to move the eyes, is when you really are paying attention to it.
Yeah, isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great that we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm happy to do more of it. it's quiet work, you know? So I never know if everybody's on board, but 2 of you today of 4 were like, we're like eyes. I was like, okay, we'll do it. Spend a little bit more time there. All right, well, enjoy your day. Get out in the sun if you can, if even for a little while.
Everyone have a great
See you next week.
All right, sounds good. Bye, everybody. Mwah.
Bye. Bye, Bob.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.